Phil, thanks so much for joining us on Celtic TV. Your former Manchester United teammate Rio Ferdinand has chosen you to play in his Rio AllStar team in the Maestrio charity game at Celtic Park in September. Now, how did he ask you to get involved?
It was in the summer in Brazil. We were both working for the BBC as pundits, and he mentioned about this game in September, and he was quite vague about it at the time. He said the game was going to be at Celtic against Paul McStay, because I think he was a big fan of Paul McStay when he was a young boy. I think we all were. And he said, would I be available to play? And at the time I didn't know what I'd be doing, so I said, well, if I'm around, I'd love to play, because any game at Celtic Park is one that you'd just love to play. I mean, the memories that I've got of playing at Celtic Park are really special. People talk about the atmospheres, you know, in the media and stuff, and I've been fortunate enough to play and experience that at first hand. So the opportunity came where I was available to play. It was in the international break, and I can't wait to get up there and walk out in front of those supporters again.
Now, you've had quite a few call-ups in your time, but why is this one so special?
Well, I mean, it's such a fantastic cause. I mean, Rios Foundation, the Celtic Foundation. I mean, I'm involved with the Man United Foundation, and we do really good work in the community, raising money for charities. And I'm sure Celtic do the same in their with their foundation, because as big clubs, you have an affiliation to your local people, to your local charities, to help people, and Celtic do a fantastic job. I know that Rio does a fantastic job with his foundation, helping in the inner city areas. And I know he's passionate about it. So if you've got spare time on your hands, and it's a kickabout with your mates against some good footballers in front of hopefully a massive crowd at Celtic Park, I just saw it as a no-brainer, and one that I'm looking forward to.
Now, you've mentioned already you've played at Celtic Park before.
Yeah.
What is so good about Paradise? What is it like to step out at Celtic Park?
I've got loads of memories. I mean, probably the film's not long enough, but the first time I went was it was England schoolboys played Scotland in a game up there, and it was on a Friday night. So on the Saturday we went to Parkhead, watched a game, and it was standing. Is it the Jungle opposite? And the atmosphere was incredible that day. I think Mick McCarthy was playing for Celtic that day. So that was my first memory. And then I played in Mark Hughes' testimonial at Old Trafford against Celtic. It was my first ever game for the first team at United. Celtic came down, and literally I was blown away. Blown away with the fact that another team was singing about a Man United player, about Man United songs, and there was a scarf that I've got, that my dad's got now up in his house, and it's half Man United, half Celtic. And from that moment onwards, I almost fell in love with Celtic. Went up to play in Paul McStay's testimonial, Tommy Boyd's testimonial, played there for Everton as well. And you just got to say that the fans, I think the fans make Celtic. I think the atmosphere of playing at Celtic Park, but everyone has seen the great European nights. And I've witnessed, and you know, the Paul McStay testimonial was on a night game. It was a cold evening. It was electric. The atmosphere was electric, and it was just a friendly game. So I used to think, I wonder what an Old Firm game's like. I wonder what a Champions League night's like. And you know, Celtic had a good team at the time, and you know, we've had some good battles.
Let's talk about that game for Paul McStay's testimonial in 1995, almost 20 years ago. Does that make you feel old?
Oh, it does, yeah. I mean, it's got brilliant memories and bad memories, because I didn't actually have a particularly good game. Because in the morning we were flying up, but there was fog, so we ended up getting on a bus and driving up. And I think I'd been ill a couple of days before, and I played the game, and I didn't have a particularly good game. And I remember Sir Alex having a little bit of a pop at me after the game in a charity game. I came up and played in Tommy Boyd's, and I played better. So that restored a bit of faith in me a little bit. But the games with Celtic are like no other, because you think it's just going to be a friendly, and it's not, because these supporters have come, they've paid good money, they're supporting, and you have to play properly. And then that's what I'm looking forward to about these games. It's not just going to be a charity game, it's going to be a game that will be played by both teams are going to be going for it, because they have to put on an exhibition for the supporters, because that's what Celtic fans demand, I think. You know, they're very similar to Man United fans, where they have high expectations and they want to see quality football, and you know, I think you'll see a good level of game.
And now you've got a point to prove against Paul McStay.
Definitely, yeah. I met Paul McStay. We were in Australia in pre-season last year, and Paul McStay, who was a good friend of David Moyes, he brought Paul McStay into the dressing room, and I remember Rio at the time saying, "Yeah, I want to meet Paul McStay," because I think Paul lived in Australia, I think, and you know, he was a terrific midfield player, so gracious, never looked like he broke sweat, it made everything look so easy, and it'd be nice to play against him again.
Now, that game actually ended 3-1 to Paul McStay's Celtic side, and Paul Scholes scored a great goal for United. Now, he's also signed up for Rios AllStars, so it'll be quite a reunion for you, actually.
No, it will be. I think there's I think Scholes is playing, Rio obviously is playing. I think we're hoping that maybe Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs can play. You know, so it'd be nice. You know, you got Jamie Carragher, who we used to fight tooth and nail with, who's agreed to play as well. So it'd be nice, and we'll have obviously a strong team going up there. But I remember the night we got beat 3-1 up there when Paul Scholes did score. Pierre Van Hooijdonk, I think, played for Celtic at the time, and Tom Boyd played. Obviously Paul McStay played. You know, Celtic had quite a decent team, and when I came back up to play against Tom Boyd, that was probably a stronger Celtic team with the likes of Sutton and Neil Lennon and Henrik Larsson played up front. You know, so that was a real strong team. You know, so it'd be a difficult game.
David Beckham, Teddy Sheringham, Giggs, Nicky Butt, yourself, of course, all lined up for United that game. So also strong opposition. Oh,
I think we played our strongest team, because the manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, is a Rangers man, or he's a Glaswegian anyway. And whenever we used to play Celtic, he always wanted to win, and he always used to want to take a strong team, because you're a Glaswegian going back to your hometown, you don't want to embarrass yourself. So it was to be honest with you, I don't remember much about the games. It was just the supporters and the atmospheres that were incredible. I remember I think it was Tom Boyd's, it was a real foggy evening as well, and the support was electrifying. And you know, it was just it's just nice to be able to turn out in another game up there.
Now, all of the money raised for this game will be shared between the Celtic Football Club Foundation and the Rio Ferdinand Foundation. So just how important is it that we get a big crowd into Celtic Park and that lots of money is raised for those great causes?
Well, it's the main thing, really. People come. We're giving up our time to come up there, but that's the easy thing. It's the supporters that've got to put their hands in the pockets and come and support such a wonderful cause, two wonderful causes. And you know, the money raised from these games will help underprivileged children, handicapped children, inner city children, the foundation of Celtic, who do sterling work within the community. So people within the community of Scotland, with Glasgow, will benefit from this game. So I'd say if you've got nothing to do on that Sunday, get down to Celtic Park and, you know, see, you know, ex-footballers, people that from obviously across the border down in England that you've probably never seen live before, film stars maybe, actors, and obviously Celtic greats that are going to be playing on Paul McStay's team. And yeah, we're probably going to be a little bit more greyer, a little bit heavier, and maybe a little bit more slower, but I think we're going to put on a good show, and it's for a fantastic cause. And I think the Celtic supporters have never let anyone down in the past, and I'm sure that they'll turn up in the droves again.
Well, you don't look much greyer. But how does it feel to be coming out of retirement for this one, fitness-wise? Do you think you'll be ready for September?
Well, I played my first charity game after a year out. I vowed never to play in these games. But when I finished, I thought I see ex-players come back and play, and I think, no, I'm not going to embarrass myself. But I played in a game, it was actually with One Direction, and I felt great. I enjoyed it. It was a good laugh. I couldn't walk for about 2 days afterwards, so you know, physically I keep myself fit, so that'll be good. And the good thing is that we're all on a certain level where we're all probably carrying a few extra pounds. We're all probably don't train as hard as what we used to, so that we're all at a similar level. And probably about 70, 80 minutes, it's probably at the same level where we're all just going to collapse and just pray that the referee cuts the game short.
Oh, well, let's hope not. Let's hope you make it to the full 90. But what do you think Rio will be like as a captain of his Rio AllStars? Because, of course, he's playing against one of his heroes, Paul McStay. Yeah. But I'm sure he'll want to win.
Oh, he'll want to win. He'll want to put on a good show. And probably Rio's might be the only player in the game that's still playing professional football, and he is super fit. And, you know, Rio will love playing at Celtic Park. I won't be surprised if he puts himself in midfield and you know, because he thinks he's a bit of a player, Rio. So he'll be looking forward to the game. He's a quiet captain, Rio. He leads by example. He's such a stylish player on the ball. So no, he'll be. I think his main focus for the game will be that there's a good crowd turn up and that we put on a good show. And you know, with the players that he's asked to play, it's going to be really entertaining.
A lot more players yet to be announced for this fixture, for the charity game, of course. Loads on the team sheet already. Just what can fans expect from this game? Well,
I think they can expect, certainly from Rio's team. I'm not sure what the Celtic team's going to be, but the Celtic team, they're going to see some Celtic greats that have won medals at Celtic and the legends at the club. For Rio's team, you're going to see people that you probably have never seen play live before. And have been the best players in the Premiership over the last 15 to 20 years. So it's going to be an entertaining game because Rio's picked the best players, he's picked the most skillful players, and like I say, I think it'll be really competitive because a lot of Rio's friends are either just coming to the end of their careers or just out, so they're going to be really fit or fitter than your average testimonial type charity game. So I think it'll be played to a good tempo. I think it'll be good quality. And I think both teams will go out there to win because I've played against Celtic before, even in testimonial games, and they don't like to lose Scottish people. I worked for one for 27 years, and he doesn't want to lose at a game of cards, never mind at a game of football. So it's I think it'll be a great occasion, and I just hope that the AllStars win. Well, it's set to be a brilliant day, and we can't wait to welcome you to Celtic Park again, Phil. I can't wait myself. Thank you. Thank you.